If you've dated at least one person that you suspect was a narcissist, then you know how emotionally damaging that can be. And so you've got to watch this video so you can make sure it never happens again.
You know, the definition of a narcissist is someone who has an excessive interest in or admiration of themselves. You titled this video, How to Stop Dating Narcissists. You deserve better and you know it. Did you ever stop to think that maybe the reason you seem to end up dating all narcissists is because you yourself are a narcissist? So, I found this video by Baxo that's meant to train women on how to stop dating narcissists, because they deserve so much better. Taking a look at Ms. Baxter's channel, most of her content appears to be aimed at dating coaching for women in their 30s and 40s. You know, the women who are already whining about how there just aren't any good men left in the world. Let's see what the great sage Michelle has to say to these women who have been perpetually pumped and dumped by selfish, narcissistic men.
Many people have come to me trying to figure out why they keep attracting narcissists and how to shift that pattern so that they can have healthy relationships. So if that sounds like you, let's do this.
You know, it's interesting, because I too have heard many women complaining about, all the men I date are jerks. I just have rotten luck. I've had 13 boyfriends over the past 5 years and they were all jerks. You know, I'm no expert, but in all 13 of those horrible relationships, what's the common denominator? That's right, you. If all the men you date turn out to be narcissists, I have to ask, exactly what was the thing that attracted you to these men? Did you do any kind of vetting? Talk to them about what they were looking for in a relationship? See what their friends, family, and coworkers had to say about them? Maybe make them wait before having sex? If you'd done those things, you probably would have been able to find out they were only in the relationships for themselves, but you didn't. You chose them on the basis of superficial things like good looks and money, which is of course your prerogative, but it also shows that you are only interested in him because of what he could do for you. Which makes you what? A narcissist yourself. That's the thing. When women complain about how all the men they date are narcissists, it almost always turns out that the woman is herself a narcissist.
The most important thing that you can do to stop attracting and dating narcissists is to own your self-assurance.
Ah yes, I am that awesome, and I deserve better than you. Totally not something a narcissist would say.
I often hear people saying, I prefer a guy I can be myself around, or I like someone who can bring me out of my shell. And while compatibility is really important, this dependency you have on the other person so that you can be yourself is a huge pitfall and often leads to dating narcissists.
No. Saying things like that proves that you don't think a relationship should come with any responsibilities. You want a guy who's going to let you do whatever you want, whether it's mutually beneficial for the both of you or not. Which of course proves you're only interested in the relationship for your own self-benefit, not his. So again, tell me, who is really the one acting like the narcissist?
People often fall for narcissists because narcissists have this ability to make us feel alive, important, and confident. When it suits them, of course.
Ah, yes. Narcissists have this magical power that just forces women to jump into bed with them. I mean, it's not like women have the capacity for self-control to evaluate their potential partners based on past behavior or anything. Women are just too inherently weak to be able to evaluate dating partners on any basis other than whether or not the guy gives them the tingles. Is that what you're saying, Ms. Baxter?
Now, this can look a few different ways. Maybe he makes you feel needed, or interesting, or fun and confident. But here's the million-dollar question. Why do you need him to feel that way? I want you to own it, girl, and be the light that you truly are, no matter who you're with. When you learn to do this, you won't fall for the traps of feeling needed or interesting, fun, or confident based on someone else.
Yes, telling yourself you don't need him. You are awesome on your own, and you couldn't care less about whether or not your relationship is mutually beneficial. Again, who exactly is the narcissist in this equation?
You'll be free to choose someone who's actually capable of a true partnership.
And that would mean that both partners have responsibilities to one another, and it's not all about them as individuals, right? How does that fit in with the whole you're worth it and don't need a man thing?
And you'll know you're those things no matter who you're with.
Again, totally not something a narcissist would say.
Let me say this another way. Be the person who brings out the best in others rather than waiting for someone else to bring out the best in you. This way, you are so much less likely to fall under the charismatic spell of a narcissist.
What the heck does that even mean? Be someone who brings out the best in others? You mean maybe be someone who looks out for others and is willing to make personal sacrifices so that the relationship works out? And again, are you seriously suggesting that narcissistic men have some kind of magical power that just puts a spell on women so they can't do anything but jump into bed with them? Gosh, I thought you'd have more respect for the female intellects than that. Isn't this a tacit admission that women are indeed the weaker vessel?
So here's the lesson. Instead of trying to take the shortcut, instead of trying to find someone that you have that instant spark with, practice being the real you, the best version of you. Practice being the woman you've always wanted to be with everyone.
Yes, the real you. The woman you've always wanted to be. The woman who always puts her own needs first. The woman who, as I said, is a narcissist.
And, like my mom always said, take time and get to know the guy.
Now, this might be the only piece of actual good advice in Michelle's entire video. If women would actually take the time to get to know the guys they date, evaluate them based on their past behavior and not whether or not they get the tingles from them, and, maybe make them wait to have sex until they commit, then women would be ideally poised to have successful relationships with good men. But so long as they choose to have sex on the first date with tall, handsome bad boys who don't impose any restrictions on their freedom, is it really any mystery why all the guys women want to date turn out to be narcissists? Are they not enabling his own narcissistic behavior through their own narcissistic behavior? I'll end this video with a quote from one of my favorite bloggers, Wintry Night. When you're hiring someone, you do a job interview. You test their skills. You contact their references. You do a drug test, a credit check, a criminal record check, and you have other skilled people sit in on the interviews and tests in order to make sure that the person can really do the job they are being interviewed for. The marriage evaluation should include everything that the job interview includes as a minimum. Marriage is at least as complicated as choosing to hire someone for a job. If you aren't doing the bare minimum of evaluating their education, career, and finances, then you are setting yourself up for failure. So ladies, seriously, the reason that you keep dating narcissists isn't because they put some sort of magic spell on you. The reason is because you yourself are a narcissist and are picking the men you date on the basis of narcissistic reasons. If you want to date better men, you need to start evaluating them on criteria beyond the exterior. If this isn't what you want, fine. That's your prerogative. But don't come crying when all your relationships crash and burn. And that is my 2 cents. Take it for what it's worth. Thanks everyone for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, as well as hit the bell to receive notifications so that you never miss an upload. And if you're a fan of my channel, please consider supporting me on Subscribestar, Bitbacker, or Patreon to receive special rewards. All links can be found in the About section of my website, my2centsvideos.com.